A quiet fire in the Capitol. The autumn sun dipped low over Washington, D.C., casting a golden glow across the Capitol's marble steps. Leaves skittered along the pavement, carried by a cool breeze that whispered of change. Inside, the halls buzzed with the low hum of voices, politicians, aides, and reporters weaving through the corridors like threads in a tapestry. Jasmine Crockett sat in her office, her desk cluttered with papers and a steaming mug of chamomile tea. The air smelled faintly of ink and old wood, grounding her in the moment. She adjusted her glasses, her dark eyes scanning a news article on her laptop. The headline screamed, "Fox News threats escalate amid GOP tensions." Her jaw tightened. This was no ordinary day. Jasmine, a congresswoman known for her steady voice and sharp mind, had always felt the weight of her role. Representing her district wasn't just about votes or speeches, it was about carrying the hopes of people who looked to her for truth. Lately, though, the air felt heavier. Threats had poured in, angry letters, venomous calls, and now, a segment on Fox News painting her as a villain. Pam Bondi, a former prosecutor with a polished smile and a knack for fiery rhetoric, had led the charge. On air, Pam accused Jasmine of stoking division, twisting her words into something unrecognizable. The hypocrisy stung. The same people who preached unity cheered when their side drew blood. Jasmine leaned back in her chair, closing her eyes. She remembered her grandmother's kitchen in Texas, the smell of cornbread baking, and the stories of resilience shared over late-night talks. "Speak your truth, baby," her grandmother would say, "but don't let their noise drown your heart." Those words anchored her now. The problem wasn't just Pam or Fox News, it was the growing divide, the way words were weaponized to tear people apart. Jasmine wanted to respond, but not with the same venom. She needed something deeper, something that would cut through the noise without adding to it. The next morning, she walked to a small committee room, her heels clicking softly on the polished floor. The room was modest, with faded green curtains and rows of wooden chairs. A single microphone stood on a podium, waiting. Reporters filled the seats, their notebooks open, cameras blinking red. Pam Bondi's name lingered in the air, unspoken but heavy. Jasmine had prepared a speech, but as she stood there, the script felt wrong. Too stiff, too rehearsed. She took a deep breath, her fingers brushing the edge of the podium. The room quieted, and she began to speak. Her voice was calm, measured, like a river carving through stone. "I'm not here to shout," she said, pausing to let the words settle. "I'm here to talk about what's real." She spoke of her constituents, teachers working second jobs, parents worried about their kids' futures, elders who deserved dignity. She didn't name Pam directly, but the contrast was clear. "Some folks on TV twist the truth to scare you," she said, her eyes steady. "They call for unity but cheer when we're divided. That's not leadership, that's hypocrisy." The room felt warmer, as if her words had lit a quiet fire. Then came the twist. Jasmine didn't just call out the hypocrisy, she invited it to the table. "I'm asking those who disagree, those who've threatened me, to sit down and talk. Not on TV, not for cameras, but here, with coffee, with real questions." The reporters shifted in their seats, pens pausing. It wasn't the fiery rant they'd expected. It was something softer, braver. Jasmine's voice trembled slightly, not from fear but from conviction. "We can't fix what's broken if we're too busy breaking each other." The speech spread slowly, not as a viral clip but as a ripple. Posts on X carried snippets, shared by people tired of the shouting matches. "Jasmine Crockett just changed the game," one user wrote. Another posted, "This is what strength looks like." Pam Bondi stayed silent, her usual sharpness absent from the airwaves. Jasmine returned to her office, the same mug of tea now cold on her desk. She felt lighter, not because she'd won, but because she'd spoken from her core. The threats didn't stop, but they felt smaller, like distant thunder. Days later, a letter arrived, not a threat, but a note from a retired teacher in her district. "I heard you," it read. "You made me feel seen." Jasmine tucked it into her drawer, next to a photo of her grandmother. Outside, the Capitol glowed under a dusky sky, its dome steady against the fading light. She didn't need to destroy anyone to make a difference. Her truth, spoken quietly, was enough.